and host Sean Lennon. Check out Pro Wrestling Enforcer, guys. We're doing a lot of things. Make sure to go to our official YouTube channel, Fight League Report YouTube channel, where you can check out all our interviews, including our latest interview with Mil Muertes. But right now, we've got a special guest right here on Pro Wrestling Enforcer, Jason Hotch, and Top Notch. Hotch is his nickname, obviously, and we welcome him from Michigan and featured on AEW Dark recently. We've seen him at Warrior Wrestling, AEW Pro, so a couple of Chicago promotions he's been to already. And we've seen he's held the EHF Heavyweight Championship, GLWA Heavyweight Championship, the Horse Slam Heavyweight Championship, and the MCPW Tag Team Championship, which he recently lost, but currently Metro Pro Wrestling Champion. And you were formerly Jason Page, so welcome on the show.
Thanks for having me, man.
Oh, no problem, man. I love to do a big intro.
I didn't realize how many accolades I really had.
Yeah.
Forget about
yeah. Talk about your career so far, and what you've drawn inspiration for. You're still young in the business, obviously.
Did you just repeat the first part of that question? You kind of broke up a little bit.
Oh, okay. I was just saying, talk about your career and where you've drawn your inspiration from, and also how you're doing. Hope everything is well.
Yes, I am doing well. We just took the dogs to Chick-fil-A, so
nice.
I got Chick-fil-A in my system. I'm feeling good. I got the Lord's waffle fries in my stomach. So
nice.
Inspirations as far as wrestling goes. It kind of started. The way that I found wrestling was ironically just flipping through the channels. My parents changed cable systems to Buckeye. Mm-hmm. So ESPN wasn't the same channel anymore. So I was flipping through the channels trying to find it, stumbled upon wrestling, saw John Cena come out and people went crazy, and I had no idea what it was. So he went on to cut a promo. I found out that that's what those are called. And then I just decided to give it a shot. But in that promo, he called Lita a slut. And, it was the whole Edge-Lita rivalry. So I was like, wow, my mom would not want me to watch this. So anytime she would come in the living room, I would change the channel to Monday Night Football. And then when she would go to bed, I would go back to wrestling just to figure out what it was. And then Shawn Michaels came out. Shawn Michaels is the guy that glued me to the TV. I want to be like this guy when I grow up. So inspirations started obviously with those two, many others along the way. But after wrestling for a couple of years, the inspirational aspect of wrestling more falls with people I'm close to in wrestling. One of them being Trey Miguel. He's my trainer. Trey is one of the most talented wrestlers that you could ever have the pleasure to watch. And on top of it all, he went back to school, completed his GED. He's getting, and he's kind of like a role model to me because the way that I set up my life is I set myself with no plan B. And that's a mistake because honestly, wrestling is not forever. You can't do it forever. And you can only make, what you put into it. And guys like me and Trey, we're going to give it our all, but at the same time, you got to think about life after wrestling. So him taking the initiative to do that kind of motivated me to do the same. So I'm in the works of getting a steady 40-hour job on top of being able to wrestle on the weekends. And then obviously change the schedule up based off where I go in wrestling. So really most inspirational would be like Trey Miguel. I'd say Sam Beal. Sam's one of my, I train with him and one of my best friends. And seeing the strides he's making on Impact is freaking awesome. I rather root for my friends than root for myself. So
Yeah.
seeing him be able to do that is freaking awesome. So it went from the people in the big time to people who, in my eyes, are big time, but big time personally to me.
Definitely. No, I got you. And I'm sure, a lot of the relationships that you've probably adapted and, grown with, that's definitely going to, leave a lasting impression. And, talk
Right.
about like you and Trey, obviously you guys had a match, recently, that's got to be special for you, but is it more like he's giving you his time? Is that like he really wants to see you succeed?
Uh, yeah, he wants to see obviously all of us succeed being a
Mhm.
trainer, but the match that I had with him was by far the most nervous I've ever been for a match.
Right.
And like it wasn't like I've wrestled in much bigger crowds than what we wrestled in front of. Granted, they sold out, but it was a smaller venue. But I've had multiple people say it's the best wrestling match they've ever seen live. The in match commentary that we did, um, is just a bunch of little things that in the match I saw him do, and I was like, wow, him doing that is making the match so much better. So I should
Sure.
do the same thing. So we just kind of like fed off each other really well. Um, but yeah, Trey's one of those guys that'll give you the shirt off his back if he needs to. Um, he's been more than patient enough with me. Um, a lot of he's the type of dude to call me out on my bullshit, and sometimes you need people like that in your life,
Right.
honestly. So there was one time we were going to IWA Mid South for a show, and Trey hit up our group chat asking if it was okay if we left like 20 minutes after what we initially planned on. And I wasn't feeling well, so I typed in the group chat like, "Hey, I might hold back. I'm not feeling too well." And Trey responded, "That's bullshit. I know you better than that. I'll see you there." And I was like, "Well, I can't not go now." So, and I did end up going, and the memories we made. Trey's infamous with Zaxby's, the big chicken sandwich picture that
Yeah.
he posted. So he let me try Zaxby's for the first time when we went down there. So, we made a lot of memories, and yeah, he's a good dude.
Definitely. Yeah. Definitely a great guy. And, obviously you're excited to see, where your career goes from here, obviously. And my
Mm.
next question was like, what do you feel is necessary to keep from the matches being redundant? Like, you and Trey had a great match, but then you're going to have to work someone else that might be, less experienced. So you gotta approach it differently, right? Like, what do you like to change up? And do you like to like do that on the fly or without giving
Um,
too much away?
so the way that I see it, and again, when I first started getting trained by Trey, the thing that he told me, because I asked him, I was like, dude, all the stuff that you do in your match, how do you remember everything that you do? Because it's like
Right.
boom, 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 done. And you're like, what? So he broke it down to me like this. And ever since he told me this is what I tell people is when you go, if you could have the opportunity to go to every Monday Night Raw for the whole month, you would pay to see John Cena hit his shoulder tackles, pick a dude up, spin him around, and hit the five knuckle shuffle. Uh, you'd pay to see him hit the attitude adjustment. So he pretty much told me people pay to see your stuff. It doesn't have to be the same every single time. Obviously, you can use different transitions to get into stuff, but that's pretty much it. Based off who I'm working, if it's someone really green, I'll keep it pretty basic.
Right.
If I want to challenge someone, we'll call a lot on the fly. Um, but if you're wrestling like someone like Trey, he kind of motivates me to go outside my boundaries. Like there's a lot of stuff that I know I can do, but I'm kind of scared to try it. And
Mhm.
Trey kind of like pushes me over that edge, like you can do it and you know it, so do it. And I end up doing it. So yeah, it's just basic, transitions but primarily keeping all your stuff the same, but just adding little tweaks to it to make it different.
Definitely. And for people, I'm sure like other pro wrestlers that know, what you're talking about, it's probably a common theme, right?
Right.
Yeah. And seeing Trey Miguel win the X Division title, I mean, how emotional are you? I seen Trey, wrestle at the Warrior Wrestling, obviously, so he's definitely part of the Chicago scene, and you got to be a huge moment for him winning that first singles title.
Yes, that was I had a show that day, and I think I worried about him winning hit that X Division championship
Yeah.
more than I worried about my match.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, you and I was there at that match, I believe, right? You were oh no, actually that was the week before. I thought it was the same night as Warrior, but I think that was like the following week. That was
Oh
right
yeah.
before, yeah.
I was at XICW
Okay,
in Michigan.
nice.
Yep.
So yeah, did you get a chance to take a picture of him holding the belt or anything like that? Get to see the belt and have
I
him
got
show
to
it off.
see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to see it, but the funny thing is he ended up wearing it while working out at
Oh
the
wow.
gym that we both go to. So I'm like, man, I don't blame you. I do the same thing.
Definitely.
Right.
That's gotta be a highlight of his career, obviously
Oh
for
yeah, definitely.
many highlights coming up and I mean you've seen him as the Warrior champion too. It's definitely a highlight of each show when he gets in there.
Yeah, for sure. Were you did you happen to be at the Stadium Series when he won the Warrior Championship?
Yes, I was, yeah.
Oh, so me, Sam, and a bunch of students were actually the ones that ran out and like held him on our shoulders.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. Which
Nice.
funny story about that is when I bent over to pick him up, his title was right there, and I took the crown of the championship because it's like a warrior or a Spartan shield like
Yes.
mask. I took the corner of that straight into the eye.
Oh,
So
wow.
I just kind of had to play it off like nothing happened. So I was walking around like wincing,
Oh
but
man.
yeah, I wasn't about to make the moment about me.
Right. That's a unique design, man. I'm glad you survived that.
Yeah, it is a
That's
cool
crazy.
belt. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
And yeah, let's talk more about Warrior Wrestling. I mean, it's a promotion that's very sought after for the bookings, for many of the independent wrestlers today. And talk about, getting an opportunity. I think I know the answer, what you'll say, but the opportunity to feature there twice.
Yeah, three times.
Okay.
There was one we were in the scramble, me, Sam Beal, top
Oh,
flight.
that's right.
Yeah, and then yeah, Evil Uno and then Pretty Proper. So um Pretty Proper it was a lot of fun calling a match with them.
Mhm.
I would love to run it back. Evil Uno was and is one of my favorite matches I've ever had.
Yeah.
Um, that dude is a genius when it comes to um, psychology and storytelling. Like we bit each other's hands, so when we chopped each other, that was the story. He chopped the post, and we just kind of were showing our hands were hurt the whole time. At the
Yeah.
end of the match, we even shook each other's hands, started wincing, and then we knuckle bumped, and then we started wincing. So we just touched feet. So yeah, Warrior is definitely one of my favorite places to work. Um, I really want to wrestle Fuego there, but I don't think it's gonna happen. I think they got somebody lined up for him, which Fuego's he's one of a kind talent. So, whoever he's in there with, he'll kill it. But I really want Fuego before 2021 ends.
Okay. Well, hopefully it can happen. I thought you might want to get in there with Victor Benjamin again, as from your recent post.
You know what? I would love to take on Victor Benjamin for that stupid Butterfinger Championship because I would draw a big X over it and I would make a Kit Kat champion. Okay. Because Kit Kats are obviously way more superior than Butterfingers.
Oh man.
And you can tell him I said it too.
That would ruffle his feathers, man.
It would. It might not turn out too well for me, but I like my chances in a fight.
Definitely. Yeah, I'd love to see that match too. Are you going to be at the next Warrior, or is it too early to tell?
I'll be there. I don't know
Okay.
if I'm booked,
Okay.
but with the people that Warrior books, Alex Shelley's, Jonathan Gresham, Trey, like literally everybody. There's stuff to learn from just watching the match
Mhm.
and being in the same locker room with guys like those just makes you a better wrestler and a better person. So I actually messaged them and asked for their 2022 dates because again, if I'm not booked there, I still want to be there because ultimately
Gotcha.
that's a place where I want to be a regular and I want to be kind of a household name to so to
Mhm.
say, I guess.
For sure. No, that definitely makes sense. I mean, they've got everything there. They've got the Lucha Championship, and they've got
Right.
the women's division like no other. It's like the top three women in the world have held the belt.
Yeah, they're the luchadors that they bring in are absolutely insane. The women are absolutely insane. But yeah, the talent that uh they bring in is absolutely incredible. And watching guys like Jonathan Gresham, which he's kind of funny because looking at him, it looks like somebody cut the muscle off of 100 men and like his body is 100% muscle. Like
Yeah.
that dude he's huge. But yeah, aside from like the men, the women, warrior champion Thunder Rosa, she's a bad mamacita.
Yeah.
And they bring in a lot of good challengers. They had Roxy, Laney Luck. So I'm intrigued to see who else they book because I think they just announced Brody King's going to be there, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm intrigued to see that. There's a lot of people that I haven't been able to see and work live that I'm excited to. I might even hang out in the crowd. Who knows?
Definitely. Yeah, that's great, man. Obviously, they got so much top talent, and we'd like to see you come back there. And also, talk about, you know, when you encounter, someone who questions like the legitimacy of what you're doing. Let's say they never been to a show, or like, what are you doing in your life, man? You're young, should be a lawyer, dentist, like, but they don't know the miles you travel. They don't know the blood, sweat, and tears. So, like you said, you are looking for like the full time gig. Like, if you were questioned like by that on an interview, like, what would you say?
So I'll actually treat that question like I'm talking to my parents
Yeah.
because that's how they were for the longest time. They didn't get it,
Right.
and which is understandable because it's not your cliche job that people
Mhm.
have. Um, no, it's the best way to describe it is, you're in the end, you're an entertainer, but at the same time, you're a professional athlete.
Mhm.
The stuff that we do, the conditioning that we do is unlike any sport that I've ever partaked in. Wrestling, baseball, basketball, football, like anything. Um, Wrestling, you're literally training to practically be a gladiator. And I think that's what people don't understand is because there's a lot of people, some of my friends, they're like, oh, I could do what you could do. And I'm like, no, you can't. And you could probably try, but it won't look nearly as good as I can make it look.
Right.
So, um, As far as making it making it a job, being signed somewhere,
Yeah.
you don't wrestle every week. Or you might, I can't say because I've never been signed. That's one of
Right.
my goals. But I would just say, don't knock it unless you have a good understanding of what it takes to actually do it.
Mhm.
Because, it comes off as disrespectful. People are like, yeah, that's dumb. You wrestle in your underwear and you grapple with other men and women. And it's like, it's so much more than that.
Yeah.
There's storytelling, there's like characters, there's action, like it's literally a live movie right in front of you.
Definitely.
Yeah, so I would just say don't knock it till you understand it.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, even the fans, they don't realize, everything that goes into it as well. So,
Right.
what do you think about your match with AJ Gray? You beat him at GCW Horror Slam Wrestling. That's got to be another big one. And obviously GCW has opportunities for young wrestlers to make their name there, and you feel a probability of it happening again is good.
Yeah. AJ Gray was one of the hardest hitting opponents that I've ever had. But it was very easy calling a match with him. I felt like our styles were vastly different and they meshed together really well. There is another GCW versus Horror Slam show in Detroit, November 11th, which is a week from today, I believe.
Okay.
Um, that on that show, I'm wrestling Alex Weir and I think Tommy Vendetta. They're both Michigan guys. I don't know if you've ever heard of Death Threat Army. They're a big stable in Michigan.
Okay.
Um, though those group of guys, it's only a matter of time until they get the right platform to
Mhm.
showcase what they can do. Alex Weir's a black belt in I think it's karate. So he's literally a ninja, and nobody can convince me otherwise.
Nice.
Uh, Tommy Vendetta is a dude that the more you slap him, the more you hit him, punch, kick, slap, anything, it just amps him up more. He goes by the Lovable Psychopath. You should definitely check them out
Okay.
on social media. Alex Weird, Tommy Vendetta. Um, yeah, they're both incredible talents. I've never had a bad match with any of them. So we took the initiative. They asked me if I wanted to work someone from GCW. I had like Effie, Alley Catch. Um, I could have run it back with AJ Gray again, but I told them that I wanted to work the other Michigan guys because, like myself, I want to put Michigan wrestling on the map again. Matt Cardona was being a troll on Twitter and saying Detroit's a B city or yeah,
Uh,
B city and Michigan's a B state or whatever. So I just want to prove that, guys like us, we can hang on GCW. I know for a fact that I can hang on GCW, and Alex Weir, Tommy Vendetta, they're going to prove too that they can hang on GCW. So that's going to be a fun show because we have a point to prove. So
Definitely.
I'm looking forward to that.
Awesome. Everybody should check that out on I think it's on Fight TV, right?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. Nice. And the following night they're going to be in Detroit for the Evil Deeds
Yes. That's just
debut.
G.
Yeah, it's just GCW and then Chicago following night.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, but that's great. Are you going to be at the other GCW shows or?
If they ask me to, I will.
Mhm.
If not, I might just show up and
Okay.
watch. Who's to
Nice.
say what I'll do if they don't ask me to be a part of it? Because Detroit's 45 minutes away from me, so
Yeah.
So we'll see.
For sure. And what's your thoughts on the intergender wrestling? Like, are you open to working more of the matches with intergender wrestling? I know you've done a couple. You had obviously the mixed tag match at Warrior Wrestling.
Yeah. I actually it's a lot of fun
Hmm.
because it's a different element, and on top of it, um, there's a different type of heat that you can get by wrestling a woman.
Right.
Lady Frost, she shocked me when she tripped me in the start of our match, and from there it was all dick up, dodge and move, and we ended up
Yeah.
she backflip, landed on her feet. I did the same, and yeah, she's a crazy athlete. There's a lot of talented women out there that can hang with the guys. So,
Definitely.
and uh, I like them just because the losers that say, "Oh, well, men shouldn't wrestle women because men are superior when it comes to fighting." When I know damn well there's a woman out there that could beat my ass. I know there's a woman out there. There's always
Yeah.
someone better than you. So, um, yeah, I think it's cool to be able to showcase like the women can go, and you've seen it. Warrior books the best of them, literally.
Yeah.
So, Thunder Rosa, if I wrestled her, I know she can go. She'll probably tie me up into a pretzel because she's an actual, like, trained in jiu-jitsu or Muay Thai, one of the two, I
Yeah.
think. But like people like that, and I would learn so much from someone like Thunder Rosa in a wrestling match.
Yes.
So, like, she's obviously on a bigger platform than me. So obviously, like, you can make the case that since she's on a bigger platform, is she the better wrestler? So all the losers that say that girls can't keep up with the guys, it's fun to kind of have that match with a girl, and then you can be able to like spit in their face and be like, well, she kept up, so you're a loser.
Yeah, definitely. And I have much respect, especially for the female wrestlers. I've been to like the Shimmer events. We get to see them kind of like the early stages, and then they just build upon that. I know Lane, you mentioned Laney Luck earlier, and she was in a match with a hardcore Craig Mitchell, and
Right.
craziest matches I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's an example. I'm sure you have many examples too, and definitely can't wait to see you perform against many of the female talent.
Yeah, for sure. I'm down for, whatever, any promoter that wants to bring me in, whether it's intergender, whether it's not, like, all they got to do is send me an invite and I'm there.
Definitely. And then we've also seen you on the AEW Dark. So, talk about that for a little bit, getting the chance to, be featured on YouTube and, just learning from those, that big promotion there.
Yeah, so it's kind of cool because um first of all, it's there's a lot of hands to shake.
Mm-hmm.
Um and it takes just one bad impression to uh make someone think poorly of you. And that goes, anywhere. Anytime you get a new job, obviously you want to make a good first impression. But going to AEW, that's like 100 different mini seminars
Right.
in one stay. You talk to people who I've gotten really close with, like Sonny Kiss. Sonny fills me in on a lot of stuff that I had no idea happens in wrestling. Again, Sonny's signed, I'm not. So,
Mm-hmm.
she kind of shows me a lot of what it's like to pretty much live her life when it comes to wrestling. Other people like Daniel Garcia, um, he's a knowledgeable dude to talk to. Now Lee Moriarty. The cool thing is because we're technically they're jobber matches. That's what most people would call them. But I think that in every match, you get at least one moment, whether it's a facial, whether it's Lance Archer chasing you out of the tunnel,
Right.
whether it's Wardlow holding you up on the turnbuckle and knocking you out. You always get one moment. So against Dante, the one moment that I had
Yes.
was the biggest move I did. It was the spinning backbreaker.
Mm-hmm.
So that went viral. So that was a success. I wrestled Wardlow. The one moment I had is taking his finisher. And I don't mean to sound full of myself, but I don't think anyone's ever sold it the way that I have, breaking my spine in half. Which was funny because Wardlow kept asking me. I actually got put on Botchamania for that match because they thought he actually knocked me out.
Wow.
And he didn't. He was completely safe with me. But Wardlow actually came up to me the next time I came down and was like, the more I watched that match, the more I kind of felt like I had to ask you if you were okay. So we were kind of DMing back and forth, just checking on me. It was kind of funny. But I was in a 8-man with Dark Order. I teamed with Chandler Hopkins, Will Allday, two others. I think they trained at Nightmare Factory.
Mm-hmm.
I got in and I had a moment with Colt Cabana where I lit him up with a couple things, and I got one opportunity to get some sort of character work in. So I threw up the Dark Order claw and I started, making fun of him. So it's little things like that, and they make it known like, hey, you did really well. They actually, everybody backstage really, it shows that they care about you. They bring you there for a reason. So after your match, like, people like critique you, tell you what you could do better, tell you what you did really well. After my match with Lance Archer, I got to the back and Sean Spears was behind the curtain and fist bumped me and was like, dude, you sold your ass off for him. Like, that was really good shit. And like, I mean, I've watched Sean Spears, Ty Dillinger, back in the day. And I'm like, I watched this dude on my TV and he just like praised me. Like, it's a surreal feeling, honestly. But I never really got used to it. It was always kind of surreal. Like being in catering in Jacksonville and Jericho's behind me. And I'm like, I literally grew up watching Chris Jericho. So like, I'd let him cut in front of me, and obviously he's too nice to be like, no, you're good. But just common decency. I love it there. Honestly, if I could pick one place to be signed, I would love to call that home. Obviously, I'm to the point where I just want my name to grow bigger. So whatever company offers, money talks and opportunity speaks. So, we'll see what the future holds. But yeah, I absolutely love AEW. I really hope they bring me back. But again, only time will tell. We'll just wait for the future.
Nice. Yeah, definitely. And yeah, that was, you had a really good match with Donnie Martin. So
thank you. Yeah, dude. Oh, he's a lot of fun. He's a lot of fun to work.
Definitely. Yeah, we get to see him this Sunday at the Galley show, which is a local show here in Chicago.
Oh, sweet. Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, one of the shows
body, his body control is insane.
Yeah.
Like I watched a video of him like doing a front flip over 4 trash cans by like running and flipping and landing on his feet, and I'm like, dude, you're a freak. I think Dante Martin's a robot.
Yeah. Definitely safe to say. Yeah, he's got some great stuff. Every time you see him.
Yeah, for sure.
And then you look at all those releases that just happened with WWE, like any of those you'd love to be in the ring with. You see yourself. I don't know if you saw that list of releases. I mean, Taya Valkyrie, she's on there, and obviously she's a big one for intergender.
So I saw I saw today that there were more releases coming.
Yeah.
That list came out.
Yeah, it's Karrion Kross was on there. Yeah, Keith Lee. I know if you had read it.
No, I didn't know the list came out.
Yeah, it did. It came out just like before I talked to you. I went on there and then saw it. And yeah, Keith Lee's released, Mia Yim, a whole bunch of them. So I don't know if I just was thinking at the top of your head if you had one that you like to wrestle.
No, I mean, based off the people that you just told me, Taya would be a very fun one. Karrion Kross, I don't know how you could screw up Karrion Kross.
Yeah.
I don't get how you could screw up Keith Lee. Ember Moon got released too.
Yes. Yeah.
Scarlett, Blake Christian, Oni Lorcan, Lindsay Dorado. Okay. All of these people, okay, they released somebody in Hit Row and they literally got called up to the main roster. That's nuts. Yeah, I would. Karrion Kross, Scarlett, Ember, Taya. Yeah, wow, that breaks my heart for those people. But yeah, I would love literally anybody, anytime, anywhere. I want to wrestle people with more experience than me. Mm-hmm. So like Blake Christian would be a really fun one for me.
Definitely.
Taya would be a really good intergender. Karrion Kross would be sweet. He can go back to Killer Kross now. So
yes,
that sucks, man. That sucks to hear.
It does. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I just wanted to get your thoughts. I didn't know if you had seen them, but yeah, it's just one of those things. I guess they weren't what WWE is aiming to be today, and that's where WWE wants to go, and that's where.
I don't think WWE knows what they want to be.
I know. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a crazy time we're living in right now. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. But a lot of great wrestlers, and hopefully you'll have a chance to get in there with a few of them.
Yeah, for sure. It sucks to hear what happened to them, but anybody that has gone through it will tell them, this isn't the end for them by any means.
Right.
If anything, they made their name more marketable, and they're going to make more money. There is a job out there for them. So yeah, any of those, would be a fun match to have. I'm just to the point where I want to learn while wrestling.
Right.
So matches like with Trey, anytime you're in a locker room that's really influential, like Warrior, you have the Alex Shelley's. Alex Shelley comes to Skull and Bones, where I was trained in Toledo, occasionally, and he'll do like one-on-ones with us, and that's really cool. So
nice.
Yeah. So man, that sucks to hear.
Yeah. Alex Shelley, definitely one of those veterans you gotta be mindful of. Yeah.
Alex Shelley. So the first time I ever trained with Alex Shelley, we did a minute and a half of chain wrestling where we couldn't go on the ground. We just had to do standing reversals. And then the next minute and a half, we could do whatever we wanted. So I locked up with Shelley, and that was the first time in wrestling where I felt like I had no idea what wrestling was.
Wow.
Like the transitions that this dude knows are absolutely like next level, and it's insane.
Definitely.
Yeah, he's a mastermind when it comes to wrestling, that's for sure.
Yeah. And yeah, just to see like all the stuff he did in Japan, and obviously
Right.
still does Independence, and I
Mhm.
think he really just came back, right? Because I know he had left wrestling for a while, and
Yeah, I
so
think that was for his because COVID and everything. I
right,
think his job wouldn't allow him to travel or something like that. I don't know. Don't quote me on it, but
right, definitely, yeah, definitely an important guy to see on you know if you're trying to get to that level, right?
yeah, for sure. And actually, I'll let a little spoiler out. January, I think 22nd. I'm actually wrestling Alex Shelley in Michigan.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah, so I'm really looking forward to that. I want it to be 2022 already.
I know, me neither. Me neither, my friend. I know. It's just like I'm looking at like the schedule of all the shows that that's coming on. I'm like, this is the last one of the year? No way.
Right, right.
Definitely. And then one of the questions I want to ask is, how do you feel when you see like a fan wearing your merchandise? I don't know. Do you have any merchandise? If so, you can plug it. Where we can get
Uh,
where we can see
so
it.
I did as Jason Page.
Okay.
Um, I don't have Jason Hotch gear now. I am getting some in the works. I'm gonna get some um, promo pictures, some 8x10s.
Nice.
That's the only reason at Warrior why I wouldn't be out there at like the meet and greets and the fan fest and whatnot,
Mhm.
because I don't have stuff to sell.
Oh,
So if
come
I
on. You still got you.
no, I know, but
People still want to take pictures. Just like a lot of
yeah,
time.
yeah. I mean, most people are out there, making money,
True,
and
true.
I think they rather get a picture signed that they buy rather than just taking a picture with, an autograph in my eyes is more valuable than a picture with somebody. And it
Yeah.
might not be that for everybody, but that's the way I see it. So when I wrestled Uno, I kind of like walked around during Fan Fest,
Hmm.
but then I was like, man, I don't have anything to sell, so I just went to the back and started getting dressed. So hopefully next time I'm at Warrior and I actually work, I'll have some shirts and 8x10s made up. So
Cool. Maybe we can do something in person too, like another short interview.
yeah, for sure, that'd be dope.
Yeah, I get you on there. Yeah, yeah. That's kind of like I don't know if you had seen me do that. That's kind of what I do at the Warrior shows.
Oh no shit.
Yeah,
I did see you took a picture with pretty proper.
pretty proper.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I met them. Yeah, some of them I take pictures with. There's a couple that I know, like I'm familiar with, that we did like interview with Beastman. We did a quick interview with Casey Navarro. So
Oh, okay.
they'll be up soon. That was fun. And so, whenever I have the chance to, do something like that, I'll take the opportunity to. And
Yeah.
yeah, man, I appreciate you being on Pro Wrestling Enforcer. Anything you want to plug, go ahead. The time is yours. Jason, Top Notch Hotch, check him out. And also check out his social media as well.
Yeah. The only thing I can really plug right now, because my pro wrestling tees are all Jason Page.
Okay.
All of my social media is the Jason Hotch. To all the Buckeye fans out there, it's not the Ohio State University, it's the, because there's not two E's. So
Right.
in my at on Twitter and Instagram, it is THE, the Jason Hotch. Aside from that, I have a pro wrestling tee store. And once I get some merchandise up there for Jason Hotch, I will definitely be posting some stuff and sharing it on social media. So that's where you can find that.
Sounds good, man. Yeah, well, I'll be looking out for that too. We are actually at the Pro Wrestling Tees. We sell our stuff there too.
Oh,
So I'll have
sweet!
I'll have one of these for you.
Yeah, I see the box in the background.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah,
I'll get you one of these next show I see you at as well.
yeah, for sure. I will be at Warrior for sure in December.
Okay, Sounds good. I'll get
right.
with you with your size and whatnot. And yeah, I appreciate you being on the show.